Welcome back to Wanderlust Saga, Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories. This is Kieran, and let's get our grind done. So, funsies. Nope, come back here. I don't want you. Blitz to win. You telling me you all didn't keep Blitz decks on you? Come on, Heartless. Get your Blitz game on. Yeah. Leading darkness. Hello. How are you? You see, this is just very broken. I still think that this would be like a very, very fun competitive card game. It's a very, very mediocre combat system for a Kingdom Hearts game. And the reason that I consider it kind of mediocre is that you're either super struggling or you're doing stuff like this. Where you just break it. We haven't even broken it fully yet. We will break it more. Don't you worry, I will break this game as far as I can. That is my goal at this point. Currently I'm using some tried and true methods, but we'll play around probably towards the end once I have all the slights to see which ones are the most broken. Blitz is pretty good in terms of brokenness. Ooh, level up. Another one that's good in terms of brokenness is Lethal Frame. Use that just a few times. And aside from that, there is a... not this, but there is a different... I assume this uses Cloud. No, it doesn't. But there's a Cloud one that's broken. I think Sonic Blade is a little broken for some things. And we'll probably actually use Sonic Blade. Let us build the Sonic Blade deck after this. Sonic Blade, the only reason Sonic Blade doesn't always work is the pure fact of Sonic Blade travels on the ground. Therefore, you can't use Sonic Blade on enemies that aren't on the ground, like these ones, for example. Though I think technically they'll get hit, but there are some bosses that, like, aren't technically on the stage for... Like, if we'd used Sonic Blade against Trickmaster, it'd be pointless. You'd never hit it. It'd be a waste of time. So. Now that I've gotten everything... Assume I got that. No, I didn't get that. Okay. So let's go to decks, edit decks, switch decks, and we're just gonna remove. Okay, now slights. Zatetsuken is useless. Sonic Blade is 20 to 23 of 3 different types of attack cards. So, 777 works very well. Because that gets us to 21. We can also go with... I want some of my lower cards in the first slots to get kind of used up. High cards like 9s, I want to kind of live longer in my deck. So 5, 8, and 9 gives us... That's 14. And then 13. So that's exactly 23. So let's use another kind of low card. And this is probably how I'm gonna do this. Do like a 5. A 9. And an 8. Okay, so does that work? So it goes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 9, 8, 9. No, it doesn't. Okay, let's take a little bit of time to plan this just a little bit better. Let's take and throw a 7 in here. So 5 and 7 is 12. With the 8 from Pumpkinhead, that gives us exactly 20. And then we get 5 from there. 9 here, so 7, 8, and 9 is too much. So I'm going to put it over here. Okay. 7, 8, or 15. But if we put another 8, 7, 8, 8, so 16 plus 7, yep, that's 23 exactly. Let's get another... let's get like the highest card I can. Seven. So 6, 7, and 5. That's gonna get us 18. That's not enough. Let's use a 7 here. A 6. That gets us to 15. 20. Okay. And then 7, 6, and 5 is 18, so I need actually a higher card here. Or a higher card here. So I need an 8 here. Which I think will still work. Yeah. Riveting gameplay. This is. Okay, so that totals up to 20 exactly. Totals up to 17, 23 exactly. And then totals up to 5 plus. This is another 20 exactly. And then this, and this, so 16, this is 23 exactly. 14, 22 exactly. And then let's... Yeah, the pumpkin heads are too low. Okay, now what I need to be thinking about is... That'll go... Doot, doot, doot. Means this is in here and these are in here, so it's gonna go 8, 8, 8. Okay, so 9. This is... Do I have something with a 6? There. And then I'm gonna drop this to a 7. Okay, so 8, 8, 7, 6, and whatever 2 cards are here, which, let's grab something high for here, relatively high, let's do like an 8. Five. Okay, so it's gonna go doop, 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 but the next time around it'll be doop, doop, doop. Okay. So 8, 7, 5, which is another 20, and this should be fine. So 6, 5, 8 is not enough. I'm actually, okay, so what I'm gonna do is actually place that with a 7. That should be good. Okay, and let me real fast just kind of gauge how expensive this gets when I start throwing in like my cures. Okay, and then I would like a high potion in here. Yeah, 1 high potion, and the ether I want. Okay. I don't actually have a lot of blizzards. Okay. So all of a sudden, like, we don't have a ton of points left. Like, did I need all those things? Probably not. But it's good to have access to them. Oh, and then I need 0 cards down at the end. I need my 0 cards. I may drop some of the magic for some more 0 cards. So I like having my 3 zeros. Okay. Edit deck. So, because I'm a little over budget. Let's just throw out the fires for right now. I will want them back. Actually, or let's throw them down here and we'll 6, 2, 17, which I think is too much. So let's remove that. Okay, let's do 8 and 6. Shortcuts, and I would like to shortcut, and I can't have multiple shortcuts, can I? No. Okay, and I'd like to equip deck 1. And let's actually rename our deck 1 to... What's this light called again? Dang. I can think of the attack, but I can't think of what it's called. Oh, I feel bad for that. Feel bad. Sonic Blade. Okay, I got a name for this deck. Oh, thought that was a space. Space is over here. Oh, okay, I'm not gonna do that. We'll just call it Sanic. And this is... Blitz, because there's not really a better name than Blitz right now. Okay, cool. So now I have Sanic equipped. Let's watch Sanic go to work. Let's watch Sanic do his work.
Yeah. This is it. Ha! 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 Freeze! Fire! Heal! Yeah! This is it. Ha!
As you can see, there are some issues that arise from this deck. But I like Sanic.
Ha! Ha! This is it. Ha! Freeze! Fire! Heal! Yeah! This is it.
And if you use it right, it's pretty good. You just gotta be careful. It's mildly more interesting than playing. Okay, did I get these? Pumpkinhead. Bench. Gave him his time.
Freeze! Fire!
And the nice thing about this deck is more of its cards are high, which means I'm less likely to get screwed. Like Blitz, if Blitz isn't working, you're kind of just screwed. Blitz don't work, you dead. Dead in the water. Sanic, if Sanic don't work, you can at least fall back on just some good casting of your spells. Doing your hits. Yay! We go Sanic fast. Sanic fast in the Disney worlds. Crossover you probably never expected. Did you ever expect Sanic in your Disney world? Did I attack through some of that first round? There we go. I still would like a better high potion. Dangerous. I'm thinking for this sort of battle, Sanic may just not be right. Because Sanic, like, I can dash around a whole bunch, and I think for certain battles, that'll be useful. But Blitz has more utility all around. If I had like a combo master Sanic, I'm fairly sure Sanic would be better, but it's not. It's a little underwhelming. Come back to us, Blitz. Come back to the beginning. You understand what I'm referencing, then good for you. I don't really know if there's anything else to say than just good for you. There's so much about this game that's just a little off compared to the rest of the series. Like, where your health bar is different. I don't know why.
Yeah. It's over. Yeah. It's over.
But instead of, like, normally it's in the lower right hand? Yeah, lower right hand.
It's over. Yeah. Freeze.
We win. But for some reason they put it up in the upper left hand, like complete opposite corner. Was he too scared? Scared of my blitzes? Well, you should have stayed away.
It's over.
Yay! Ah, my Moogle room. That hath betrayed me, so didn't give me any high potions. Ah, this was our teeming darkness. Ooh. Another potion. In case you were worried that we were running out of potions that we can't actually use up. That'd be an interesting mechanic. For an like, in this, like, you wouldn't expect to use up potions, but what if you had potions? I guess that's kind of what Dark Souls does with Estus Flasks. Potions that can't, like, you can constantly replenish them regularly. That's what all the Souls games do. Which is something that I do want to get around to playing here. The Souls games. And I'm not sure how I want to do it, because part of me wants to do it with friends, because it's fun. I've actually been playing with some people, well, with someone. Danny and I have been playing. And we had started it, like, long before I was getting back to doing YouTube videos, and because on a whim we did it with Dark Souls 1. And then we've been working on getting through Dark Souls 2, but it's just finding time where both of us are available, which I think is the danger of doing multiplayer. And I guess probably if we set some time aside, we could consistently get it done. But I'd kind of want to do it with, like, the OG3, me, Cameron, and Danny, aka me, Broken, and Zayn. Okay. But the thing about that is not everybody has it. Me and Danny do, but Cameron hasn't bought. Well, he's got Dark Souls 1, but he has the original Dark Souls 1. Danny doesn't have the original, she has remaster. So it's just kind of this how to approach that. And yeah, one of us, and like, we could always get Cameron remaster, but he doesn't always play Souls games very well. He gets frustrated easily. I think that does a tiny bit of damage. I'm trying to think of what that fountain does, and I think it's a little bit of damage. Damn. Got him. Okay, I'm not getting cards, which means carry limit on world cards. Yeah. I don't like... Eventually, I think I'm gonna have to do that. That room isn't as interesting as I thought it would be. Like, I've used it before, and it just kind of sucks. Isn't fun, isn't interesting. Just a pitch black room where you can't see anything, except for the door. How do I have... Oh. I have a lot of Lasting Days cards. Like, how do I have 40 green cards? This is how I have 40 green cards. I wonder what the Heartless feel when they see me just do this. How do they feel about just being... about this, knowing that this is an inevitable end? There's nothing they can do. They're just doomed. And they will continue to be doomed. Gotta suck. My hypothesis is it just sucks. To know that your doom is approaching at the hand of a kid with a couple of stupid card deck tricks. Can't believe I don't think I even noticed that benches could drop stuff the first time I played this game. Which is just weird. Weird to realize that there were things that I just didn't acknowledge even existed. I played this game twice. Kinda wish I had played the Game Boy Advance version at least once. Just because it looks cool. For no other reason than it, the art is fantastic. But art style wise, these games are always on point. It's story and mechanics sometimes that seem to elude them, and even story-wise, there's some really cool story. And it's really fun, and if you just take it at face value, it's good. But it's when you start to dig deep, and there are some things that it's you could have just not explained that. It would have been fine. Been perfectly fine. And this one's gonna have some weird, odd little translation errors. Because that has happened with these games. And I don't even know if, they didn't get the voice actor to redo lines for it being a translation error that was later in future portions of the series. They don't use the same language, and it's a very like nuanced difference, and it's obvious like whoever they had doing their translation just wasn't as understanding of the nuance and was doing more of a literal translation. So we get some interesting discussions about how people smell, and it's not actually like a better translation is sense, but the word in Japanese that they use it's either close or the same as the word for smelling. I don't quite know. I just know after reading and doing some small amount of research into it, it's basically like it can be translated to smells, but that's not quite the idea. It's more of just a sense of feel that we don't really have a word for, other than I sense you, I feel you. And we just use, like, really, if you think about it, feel is sometimes not a word to do, like, an extra sensory thing, because it probably won't be like feel. How often is, you know, tasting like feeling? Feels bad.
It's over. It's over.
I lost a pumpkin head to him. And you would have done it if he hadn't.
It's over.
I know you.
Yeah. It's over.
Prophecy.
Yeah.
That's really like. So, I've ragged on this game a bit,
It's over.
and I've also said it a couple times. Like,
It's over.
I still enjoy this game.
Freeze.
I still like it. I still like the story. The mechanics are a little weird and not exactly my favorite.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there are worse things.
It's over.
This is probably my least favorite Kingdom Hearts game, but it's definitely like my least favorite game in general. I wouldn't be 100%ing it if it was my least favorite game in general.
Freeze. Heal. Yeah.
I'm trying to think what would be my least favorite game that I've ever played. Aside from, there was a really bad indie game that I played. And I've probably played several really bad indie games, but like, I can at least take that. My probably least favorite game I have ever played that is not independent, not an indie publisher. Publisher is the point of indies is they don't have publishers, but not an indie game, would actually be Dead Island. And I feel bad, like, if someone likes that game, that's fine. It just really didn't do it for me. Really, I didn't find it fun, didn't find it interesting. It was kind of gimmick. It wasn't even, like, gimmicky. It was just weird. Like, they tried to smash two genres together that were popular at the time. RPGs and zombie games, zombie survival games, and I just don't think it worked. Like, I don't always consider Borderlands to work as a shooter RPG kind of hybrid. like, I like Borderlands, don't get me wrong, but Borderlands sometimes is broken. And I didn't even really get very far into Dead Island. I just remember having this, like, after playing for a few hours, just having this feeling of being very underwhelmed by the entire experience. That's probably, like, the one game in my Steam library. Nope, there's one that I disliked more. Because it was one after playing for just a little bit, I decided I would have liked to return it, except for I had bought it a long time before and just hadn't played it. And that was Lara Croft and the Guardian of the Light, I think is what it's called. And it's one of those, like, some of the same reason, and mind you, take everything I'm about to say but with a grain of salt, because I've only played a very small amount of it. Reason I don't really care for Breath of the Wild. So I have played a little bit of Breath of the Wild. My biggest thing about Breath of the Wild is simply the fact that Breath of the Wild is a very good not Zelda game. And Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light is a very good not Tomb Raider. Because it's kind of this top-down, like, stick shooter almost. And that just doesn't do well. I don't know what else to say other than it just doesn't, it didn't strike my fancy. So, all things considered though, I'm gonna kind of hop conversations real fast here. We are done grinding. I have finished. So I'm gonna make my way back out and we will be ending the episode there. I still hate when I press that. I want this. But I would like it to be mapped. Yeah, that's 20 red and a gold card, which I don't think I've gotten at any point. No. But yeah, it's just one of those things, like, there are times when a genre, like when a game steps out of its genre, it's okay. But it depends on the game. I just totally scrubbed that. But it depends on the game. Very much. Like, how cemented in its genre is it? Like, what do you go to play, you know, certain games for? And all things considered, Legend of Zelda, it's got an okay story. And there are people who play it for the story. I don't play Legend of Zelda for the story. And you can play it for the combat. Combat's not been really that great. And I would even say Breath of the Wild's combat, while in some ways better, was also in some ways worse. My biggest complaint about Breath of the Wild, aside from I hate the durability system, and I think that's like a general opinion most people have. The durability system sucks. But is I go to Legend of Zelda games because they're fun puzzle games. Skinned as something else. Skinned as a dungeon crawler, but there's always this very puzzly element to it. And I find that fun and fascinating, and I love all the different equipment that you get and new abilities that you get. It's actually something I'm realizing, like, a lot. Like, well, Hollow Knight I'd give, like, has far better combat. So good combat. And in some ways is a little Zelda-esque in the abilities and everything else that you get. But you know, there is a little bit of that puzzly nature, and
Yeah.
it's not that, like, if Breath of the Wild had
Yeah.
done what it had done, yet maintained those puzzles, and I know that there are the little shrines everywhere. There are so many. I am not going to wander. Like, if I had the game, I may wander and look at a lot of them, but they're also so very small and they're not very interconnected. And I've also had, like, and it's a really odd thing in retrospect, but, like, wasn't something I noticed when I played the game, that they all kind of take place in this, like, future techno looking area, which, okay, whatever, that's fine. Like I said, I didn't really even notice it, but they just feel so disjointed. I like how the large Zelda dungeons, and, like, you could have those little small shrines and leave them be what they were. The problem is the divine beasts, and I have only seen a divine beast played through. But from what I know, divine beasts, as a general rule, from some of the friends that I have that play Zelda games and played Breath of the Wild extensively, the divine beasts are slightly larger, basically, versions of the shrines. Not the sprawling dungeons that you get in normal Zelda games. And I think that's what I'd look for. So this is kind of how I feel about it, and I wish they would have done something more with those divine beasts and made them feel better, make them a little bit bigger. And that may have been a budget thing, but that's kind of my opinion about games kind of stepping outside the realm. They still need to pay homage back to where they came from and still feel like a game related to what they came from, because otherwise it really feels like I want to make something new, but I want it to be well received, so I'm going to take a big name. And the other thing is like, and I'm going to say this as a big fan of Skyrim. I say that. I was a big fan of Skyrim when it came out. But Breath of the Wild reminds me too much of Skyrim. My biggest complaint about Skyrim is nothing feels grand enough. And I will say, from some of the things that I've seen in Breath of the Wild, they feel a little better than Skyrim. But my biggest problem with Skyrim was that, like, you don't have that super cool build-up in the main quest. The main quest seems very much like a side quest. And that bothered me. I really liked in Oblivion when you first do the first Oblivion Gate and how that feels. Whereas the first dragon, it felt okay. But then dragons were everywhere and it was boring. Doing the first Oblivion Gate, you still keep going around. Yeah, some more Oblivion Gates start popping up eventually, but they don't, like, pop up absolutely everywhere. So that achievement still is really cool, and the one thing that I absolutely love is the way everybody refers to you after that point. Because you did a great deed, you become the hero of Kavach. And that gets referenced by everybody. Whereas, no matter what you do in Skyrim, most people act like you're just Joe Schmo. And that kind of bothered me. I feel like maybe Breath of the Wild, if I gave it a playthrough, wouldn't necessarily give me that feeling entire way through. Just in my, like, I played it for like 4 hours one day. That's kind of the feeling I got. And it was more of just the traversing and everything feeling very disjointed. felt like a whole bunch of side quests, with the main quest just being another slightly larger side quest. So, yeah. Anyways, thank you guys all for watching and listening to me ramble on about video games. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!